Well, on Okinawa, the war was over, and I know it was over because everybody was shooting in the air, and all the ships were firing up in the air, tracers and whatnot, and there was a Puerto Rican outfit next to us, and the shots were going up in the air, but they were also falling where we were, and it was kind of exciting that way. I got hepatitis probably from, I had gotten I got everything you could get during the war, but I had taken some kind of shot, and maybe the needle was bad or something, so instead of going, my unit was the first unit to go into Japan behind MacArthur and whatever went up there. And the first one was an airborne unit, and then we were the next regiment to go. And I was being evacuated to go to Guam to the hospital, and directly across me on the runway was General MacArthur talking to the commander of the Pacific Theater, who was out of Hawaii. And I knew it was MacArthur because of his statue, and he and the commander of the Pacific had on not helmets, but the regular kind of hats that officers wore. MacArthur had his pipe, and he was very tall, so he just had a very distinguished, erect appearance and whatnot. Somehow I had gotten a little 127 millimeter box camera. How I got it, I have no idea, but I have a picture of MacArthur standing across the runway from me, and it's not real sharp, obviously, but there's no doubt about it being MacArthur. So I thought that was kind of an unusual experience too. Not exactly a fighting experience, but after the war I got to meet John Wayne, and that was kind of a different, again, back on Okinawa in a civilian context, but and I don't know if that was interesting or not, but somebody had said that I had been a consultant for the Green Beret, and in fact I was not, but in getting ready to do the Green Beret, John Wayne came to Okinawa. He had on a kind of suit that was wrinkle-proof, but for the hot weather, and there's a name for it, I can't think of it. Pretty tall guy, but we had a museum of artifacts that came back from Vietnam, and during that time the war was still going on in Vietnam, and or had gone on. Anyway, we had this museum, so we took him down to the museum to look at things, and I think I was a lieutenant colonel at that time. I might have been the senior officer president, so I was explaining to him what was in the museum and whatnot. We had a man in the company who had gotten in the Army at 6'9", maybe 6'10", and he had to get a waiver to get in the Army, and he was a little late getting in, and I said, I called him John. He said he told everybody to call me John, so I called him John. I said, John, there's another one I want you to meet. And he turned around and looked at this guy and looked up and said, Jesus Christ! and the guy turned back and said, no, sir, and told him whatever his name was, John Smith or something like that. And then later on, we were all excited about John Wayne being there, and we threw a party for him at the officers club.